Okay, so last article we are starting here, numerical integration from the numerical method. Now, before we start, yes, this is a question. What is a numerical integration? So, numerical integration is a process by which we can integrate. Okay, we can integrate without actual integration. Means we are not going to use any formula of integration. We just by approximation method, by numerical method, we are going to do the integration, because we already know the meaning of integration. The meaning of integration is the area under the curve. So suppose this is the curve that we have, y equal to fx. Y is equal to fx is a curve, and we are interested to get the area from the point, say x equal to a, x is equal to a, and x is equal to b. So what we are interested, actually we are interested to get integration a to b, that fx dx. Integration a to b fx dx is, obviously we know, that's this area. Okay, the area between the ordinate x equal to a and x equal to b, and under the curve y equal to fx. Now this is the geometrical meaning that we have for the integration. So definite integration gives us the area under the curve, and in numerical method we are going to evaluate only definite integral which have the limits. Okay, which have the limits. That type of integrals are possible. First method is a very simple method. What we are going to do it, we are going to approximate this integration value by a trapezium. Okay, so suppose I am interested to approximate this area by a trapezium. So I can draw one trapezium. So it is we can approximate by a single trapezium also. So right now, suppose I join this upper point, say this is f of a, this is the point f of a. Okay, because this is a comma f of a. So this, what is this height? Height is f of a. This height is f of b, because this is at x equal to b. And suppose I will join by a straight line. Then we are going to get this area only. Is that we are going to get this area? Obviously both areas are not same. There is an error. There is obviously the error, and that error is of this much. This is the error there that we have. And why this error happened? Because we are approximated by a single trapezium. If we increase the number of trapeziums, what will happen? The error will decrease. Obviously, suppose I will take one more trapezium here. Suppose I will take that AB interval of, suppose midpoint of AB is, say, C. Suppose one more point I will say that is x equal to C, and I will take here some point as f of C here. This is f of C. Now you will observe, this will be one trapezium, this is another trapezium. So actually you are getting this one trapezium here like this. The next trapezium you are going to get like this. This is another trapezium like that. Okay, so this way, and now the error is decreased. This is small error that left only. So that way, if we go on more number of subintervals, or if we increase the number of trapeziums, the approximate value of area will become closer to the exact value there. Now, can anyone tell me first what is the formula for area of a trapezium? What is the formula of area of a trapezium?
Sir, I am trying, sir.
Yes, Umar.
1 by 2 into length plus breadth.
Which length?
Height.
Height.
1 by 2 sum
Sir,
of
1 by
parallel
2
sides.
into b
Okay.
plus h
Yes.
2h height.
Sir,
The
half
formula
into
is
sum of
half
parallel sides into
Half
height.
into
sum
sum
of
of
a
Half
parallel
into
parallel
sum of
sides
length of
into
parallel sides
h.
into perpendicular
Okay,
distance.
into the height of the trapezium. Now every time that height is nothing but this length, because you will observe you are dividing the trapeziums on x-axis, so you will get that h is here. The height of trapezium is every time this height of this trapezium is also h here. Okay, so h is on x-axis there. And now what is that? A plus b, sum of parallel sides. Parallel sides are like f of a, f of c, f of b. So you will get the area of first trapezium as 1 by 2 f of A plus f of C into H. Similarly, you will get the area of a second trapezium as 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 f of C plus f of B into H. Any doubt up to here? I'm just calculate the area of this first trapezium and then area of second trapezium and then the added. That is just approximate area, which is a approximate area to the area under the curve. If we simplify this formula will become, okay, I'm writing this formula, simplification of this formula. Yes, anyone? 1 by 2 is a throughout common. I will take f of A and f of B are one time there. F of A plus f of B plus 2 times f of C into H, or I will take H by 2 here. I will take H by 2. This H is this H by 2, H by 2. So H by 2 into f of A plus f of B into 2 times f of C. This is the formula for this formula is known as actually the trapezoidal rule to get the numerical integration. Okay, so what is the trapezoidal rule? Trapezoidal rule says h by 2. H is nothing but it is a height of or class interval difference between two successive values of x, that is h. This h by 2 is there. F of A plus f of B. Actually, this is a, if you observe, this is end ordinate. F of A and f of B are end ordinates. So sum of end ordinates, f of A plus f of B, or sum of extreme ordinates plus 2 times in between whatever the number of ordinates coming, so 2 times the remaining ordinate. So I'm going in detail. Let me see this geometrical interpretation in more detail so that you can definitely remember this formula. So I will show one thing here first.
Sir, should we not note down what you wrote right now?
It's not required. Formula only you have to remember. Okay, I will tell you. Just 1 minute. I will show you that formula also later on. So here is the formula for area of trapezoid, whatever you said. A plus B upon 2, where A and B are the parallels. Okay, parallel sides. Sum of a parallel sides divided by 2 into height. So that way. Now, I want everyone, you can see, let I show you the same whatever we discussed, or this link you can try it later on or right now also. I will show you here. I will give in the chat as well as, but I'm giving one link on the chat box which is mainly for just approximating the area by trapezium, whatever we discussed right now, the same thing. So if someone is there, okay, already few of you are there. So let I take Raunak here. So okay, so already this is the trapezium. Okay, so whatever we discussed right now, the same thing is here. What we can do, let I show you with the whatever Raunak's taken here. I will take a simple equation. Let I take a simple equation. Let me take only y is equal to x. Okay, y equal to x. You will observe it is a straight line. Are you getting? Y equal to x, and we want the area from x equal to say 1, x equal to 1 to x equal to say 4. Okay, I take an x equal to 1 to x equal to 4. H is taken as 1. Okay, can you able to see the screen? Are you able to see the screen?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So this is a very simple example I taken for understanding. Y equal to x is our curve, and we are interested to get the area under the curve from x equal to 1 to x equal to 4. Actually, this example can be done directly also. What is the direct value of this area? So we'll take integration 1 to 4 fx dx. Fx is x, so integration 1 to 4 x dx. So that x dx become x square by 2, and the limits are 1 to 4. So 4 square is a 16. and 1 square is 1 upon 2, so we get 15 by 2. 15 by 2 is the exact answer. Okay, this is the actual answer. But what is the purpose of this numerical integration then? Actually, the purpose of numerical integration is not to solve such a simple example, because sometimes the integrand is a very complicated to evaluate. In such a case, the numerical integrations mainly used. Okay, but in exam, if you have the question, evaluate integration 1 to 4 x dx by trapezoidal rule, then even though you know the exact answer, that is the answer is 7.5, still you have to show that by trapezoidal rule only. Okay, so I hope you are getting. So generally the value of h is given. If not, we have to select. So in this case 1 to 4, so initial value of x we taken as 1, and end value of x we taken as a 4. Okay, so it is 1 to 4. So generally and we are moving with the step 1, so we get 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this value generally denoted as, we always start with x0, x0, x1, x2, x3. Okay, so this way, yes, we can take these values, and then we have f of x0, f of x0, f of x1, f of x2, and f of x3. In this case, functional values will be again same, because y is equal to x is there. So these heights are like 1, this height is 2, this height is 3, this height is, okay, I think step size is not taken as a 1. Steps here, step size is taken as 0.5. It is taken as 0.5. So it may happen that you'll observe the step size. Okay, then some random partitions there, 1, 1.6, 2.2, 2.8, 3.4, and 4. They taken h equal to 0.6. H is equal to point, because you have to see how many divisions made. N is equal to 5. Okay, there is one formula I will tell you. The formula I'm going to show you later on all these things. H is equal to b minus a upon n. Now let I explain all these things. What is H? H is the class interval. This is the difference between two successive values of x. A and b, this is the interval which we want to divide, and n is the number of divisions we want. Suppose we have to divide the entire interval into 5 parts, so we say n is 5. This is vice versa. We can get n if we know h also, b minus a upon h. Okay, so that way. So both are that way we can get it. So if we change here, yes, we can change whatever I said. If we want this one, 1, 2, 3, 4 only, so we'll take division. How many divisions we should take it to get 1, 2, 3 interval? You'll observe how many sub intervals are there. This is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So if we make 3, I will take the divisions as 3. 1, 2, 3. Can you able to see now? Here divisions are 3. The divisions are 3. Then we get function values as 1 to 4 only. That 1 to 4 only. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So division is nothing but number of intervals. This is the first interval, 1, 2, 3. That is n. H is just difference between two successive values of x. So you'll observe 2 minus 1, 3 minus 2, 4 minus 3. That is h is 1 there. And a and b are the initial and end values there. Okay, so that way we'll see all this detail in example. But now in this case you'll observe if we apply this one, the actual answer, this actual value is a 7.5. That's written. And trapezoidal rule, you get the answer 7.5. Why you are getting exact answer here? Because you'll observe the trapezium is exactly matching to the actual area. So trapezoidal answer is a 7.5. Actual answer is also 7.5, and both are matching in this case because function is a simple. Now if I change a very small, if I do a very small change here, let I take here x square, and I will press enter. Now we are approximating it by a parabola. Now you'll observe the trapezoidal rule answer is 21.5, is it? And actual answer is 21. Okay, so now the question we have to do it by trapezoidal rule only. Okay, the questions that we have to do it by trapezoidal rule there. Now, how to do the questions and numericals, we'll come to that part. So this actually, if you use this applet, you are going to get all the calculations here. You get answer also. Everything is there. Exactly same things you have to write it in the exam. Okay, I will tell you. Suppose this question comes like this. Evaluate. I'm writing a question first here. The question is, okay, here. Evaluate integration 1 to 4 x square dx by a trapezoidal rule. By trapezoidal rule, evaluate integration 1 to 4 x square dx by trapezoidal rule by taking, now here two ways you may be given. One of the way you may given n equal to 3 or h is equal to 1. Okay, so either you given n equal to 3 or h equal to 1, both gives us the same answer. So value of h is given. So this gives us, we have to make the table then. We have to just make a table. So you can take xz, that is initial value is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you can say it is x0, x1, x2 and x3. So this last suffix is nothing but n, xn. You get x0 to xn. So n is 3, that is number of intervals are 3. 1 interval, 2 interval and 3 interval. So you will observe this is first interval, second interval, 3 interval and that is x3, that is xn. So always you start with x0 and you get to the xn. So xn will be the b, x0 will be a. This x0 is always as a and xn is a b. So that is the interval ab we are dividing in 3 parts. The first part, second part and third part, that is xn there. I hope you are getting. So initially, when we have to solve this question in the exam, first you have to start with this one. Given a is equal to 1, b is equal to 4 and h is equal to 1. And this implies this data. And now you have to make another data of f of x0, f of x1, f of x2 and f of x3. Now in this case, f of x0 means 1 square is 1, 2 square is a 4, because what is fx? Fx is x square. Fx is x square. So this is x square, integrand. 3 square is a 9, 4 square is a 16. Now therefore area, the formula for area, trapezoidal rule, is h by 2 in bracket sum of extreme ordinate, I will say that is x, that is 1 plus 16, that is sum of extreme ordinate plus 2 times remaining ordinate. So this is the formula we are going to use it. H by 2 x plus 2r. So h, what is h? H is 1. It is 1 by 2 sum of extreme ordinate. Now extreme is 1 and 16. 1 plus 16 is a 17 plus 2 times sum of remaining ordinate. Now 9 plus 4, that is the remaining. Every ordinate comes only once it, okay, there. So this become a remaining then. 9 plus 4 is 13. Now if you simplify all these, you will get the answer as a 21.5. You can cross check. You should get a 21.5 as the approximate area by a trapezoidal rule, and that is the end of the question in the exam. And suppose in the exam the question is like this: evaluate this by a trapezoidal rule and hence compare with the actual value. Then you have to calculate this actual value. Now I will write it by this one. Okay, someone is asking a question. Let I check. Can you please explain again from area? Sir, can you repeat the second last step? Okay. What about second last step? Which step actually? I'm not getting this one. This is the formula. Formula for first you have to create a table. You have to create a table of x and fx. Once you get that, this is the formula for a trapezoidal rule. Area by a trapezoidal rule is given by h by 2 into x plus 2r. What is x? X is the sum of extreme ordinate. What is extreme ordinate? That is a like f of a and f of b. That is f of x0 and f of x3. That is a plus b. Okay, and 2 plus 2r means 2 into sum of remaining ordinate. 4 plus 9. 4 plus 9 is 13. That way. Is it clear? One is a
Yes, sir.
sum of extreme ordinate and r is the sum of remaining ordinate, and that is 21.5. So this is the answer. formula is the formula of trapezium. Yes, I think who is asking this, Praneeth or this is a trapezoidal rule I am saying. By trapezoidal rule, this formula is derived there, but derivation is not there. So directly you have to remember the formula there. Uh, no need to write this. No need to write. It is just for your understanding. I'm showing you one example here. Other questions we are going to do it. Now, suppose the question is further here. Hence, hence, sorry, hence, compare it with actual value. Actual value. Now let me calculate actual value. Integration x square dx from 1 to 4. What is integration first? X square. It is obviously x cube by 3, and it is limit are 1 to 4. So 4 cube, is it 64?
Yes, sir. 64.
Minus 1 divided by 3, and that becomes 63 by 3. And is it become 21? So this 21 is actual value. Okay, actual value is a 21. Approximate area we calculated as a 21.5. The error is of a 0.5 there. So actual error is there. So that is 0.5. So you have to say by comparison with actual value, there is an error of a 0.5. That's one you have to mention only. Is it clear? Now in
Yes,
this
sir.
yes. Okay, in this activity of GeoGebra, you can solve any question. Whatever the question you are given, you can just put the function fx here, put a function fx here. You will get entire calculation this side. Okay. Yes, x plus 2r is a formula. Formula is there. Let I show you the formula, then you will get it. So numerical integration. In the numerical integration, we have mainly two methods: trapezoidal rule and Simpson's 1/3 and 3/8 rule. Purpose of all these three methods is the same: to get approximate area of integration. Most important method is obviously the Simpson's method, because they are more accurate. Okay, that more accuracy is there. That is their error is less than as compared to the trapezoidal rule. Because of that, Simpson's methods are most popular. They're mainly used for numerical integration. Again, the weightage of this article is a 5 marks in final examination. One question always come on numerical integration. So whatever y equal to fx is given to us, this y equal to fx is given to us, we have to break it to the part as x0 to xn, x0, x1, x2, xn. And then difference between two successive values of x is h. H is always a constant. Okay, so the values of x should be equally spaced. Equally spaced means if x0 is like 1 and x1 is like 1.2, then obviously next should be 2.4. This should be 3 point, is it 6? Okay, that way. Okay, you'll observe h is equal to 1.2. Then just you have to add 1.2 every time and you will get the next value that way. So that is h. Okay, so this is the formula that we have: the relation between initial point A, final point B. H is a we can say the n is the number of intervals or number of parts, and h is the width class that is a interval width there. Okay, so h is equal to b minus a upon n. That is a formula. So first formula now. This is the trapezoidal rule. So this formula is important now that you have to remember. Trapezoidal rule: integration x0 to xn fx dx is h by 2 into x plus 2r. What is x? X is a sum of extreme ordinate. Extreme ordinate means, I will highlight here, y0 and yn. They are extreme ordinate. X is sum of extreme ordinate y0 plus yn, and r is sum of remaining ordinate. Now remaining means y1 plus y2 plus y3 up to yn minus 1. Any doubt in the formula? Okay, very good. So if you do not have a doubt, I'll move to the I will move to the next
Sir, wait,
two.
wait a minute, sir.
Okay, n is the number of intervals. N is a number of interval, and h is the width of interval. H is a width of interval. Here everything is written where n is a number of interval. That's written here. So the PDF is with you. The formulas you can write at any time. Is that? Yes, Asif, you are correct. If we take more divisions, the error will decrease. Obviously, whenever we increase n, then error will obviously decrease there. Now, now there is similar formulas for, but I'm not going in the method now. Means a derivation of the formula. I'm just tell you, just like a trapezoidal rule. Trapezoidal rule have this formula. Now the Simpson's method have this formula. First formula is known as Simpson's one-third rule. Simpson's one-third rule, which is h by 3 into x plus 2e plus 4o. Now what is the meaning of all these? X is the sum of extreme ordinate. Obviously y0 plus yn. Just like, so meaning of x is the same everywhere. Okay, meaning of x is the same everywhere. In trapezoidal rule, one-third rule or 3/8 rule, everywhere x is the sum of extreme ordinate, which is y0 plus yn. Now 2 times e is the sum of even ordinates. Now the ordinates whose suffix are even. The ordinates whose suffix are even, like y2 plus y4 plus y6 plus y8 and so on. But remember, suppose that I will write it here, one table, say x0, x1, x2, x3, x4. Suppose these values you are given, x0 to x4. So obviously we get y0, y1, y2, y3, y4. Now can anyone tell me what will be the value of x here? What will be the value of this capital X for this table?
So y0, y4.
Y0 plus
Y1, Y4.
y4. Very good. But what will be the value of sum of even ordinate now?
So y2, y4.
Y2?
Y4.
Not correct.
Sir,
Already
only Y2, sir, only
only
Y2.
Y2.
Only Y2.
Okay,
Only
only
y2.
y2 will left because y4 is already counted as an extreme ordinate. So whatever you have to take the remaining, so you have to just ignore y0 and y4. They will not come now in picture. So when you take sum of even ordinate, the even ordinate is only y2 left because y4 is already taken. So here is only y2. Now sum of odd ordinates,
Y1, Y3.
y1 plus y3. That
Y1,
is correct. Okay. So this way you can get the values of x, e, and o by this way, and just you have to replace it there, and you get the approximate value of integration. Now, one condition is there for Simpson's one-third rule. This should be n should be even. N should be even. So this is a very important condition. Then only the Simpson's one-third rule is used. Okay. But yes, even though if n is not even, you can apply it. But accuracy will be the better whenever n is a even only. N is even only. In the examination, suppose you are given some question and find its numerical value by and n is given. So depending on n, you have to select the method. Suppose n is even, it's best thing that you should use the Simpson's one-third rule. Okay, and when n is a multiple of 3, n is multiple of 3, then it is better to use a 3/8 rule. This 1/3 rule is for n is even and n is a multiple of 3, then it is a 3/8 rule. That is a that is way or this way the method is selected because the accuracy will goes on increasing. It is actually in the derivation of the formulas, but derivation part is not in the syllabus. We are not going that. Just you have to remember, when n is even, use a 1/3 rule. When n is a multiple of 3, use a 3/8 rule. But I want one doubt definitely you should come in your mind. What should be that doubt? When these two datas are given, you should have some doubt there.
What if n is not even and not a multiple of 3?
Okay, n is not even and not multiple of 3. So in such a case, in such a case you can use a trapezoidal rule. That is one correct. Okay, good doubt. That one is one possibility, correct. So like n is equal to 1, simply n is equal to 1, or I will take n is equal to 5. Okay, n is equal to 5. So that is neither multiple of 3 and nor even. So in such a case you can use a trapezoidal rule. Okay, trapezoidal rule. But the accuracy of these methods are mainly good than trapezoidal, provided that n is even or multiple of 3. Now one more doubt, suppose n is a 6. N is a 6. Which method you will use?
So 3/8 rule.
Why not 1/3? It is even, na? Okay, so both are correct. Actually 3/8 is also the correct answer, but remember you can use any method then. When n is even as well as multiple of 3, I will repeat, when n is even as well as multiple of 3, you can use 1/3 or 3/8 rule. Both methods are applicable. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, good. So let I come here. Here is a last formula of numerical integration. Actually, this topic, Simpson's 3/8 rule. The formula is look like this, and whatever I said, 1/3 rule is used when n is even, and 3/8 rule is used when n is multiple of 3. That's written in the remark. Okay, so this is important remark again. Okay, come to the formula of 3/8 now. It is a 3h by h. So obviously trapezoidal outside is h by 2. 1/3 rule it is h by 3, and 3/8 rule it is 3h by 8. Okay, so that about the outer coefficients. And then x is the sum of extreme ordinate y0 plus yn. Yt is a ordinate which are multiple of 3, like y3, y6, y9, and so on. And r is the sum of remaining ordinate. So I will take it again here, some values. Say suppose we have y0, y1, y2, y3, y4, and y6. Now I want extreme ordinates first. Yes, anyone?
So y0, y6.
Y0 plus y6, correct. What about yt?
So y3.
Y3.
Only y3, very good. And what about the remaining?
So y1, y2, and
Y1
y2.
plus
Y2,
y2,
Y2. Y4.
y4,
and there is one more I missed actually. There should be y5.
Y5.
5.
Correct. So y1, y2 plus y4, y5, that are the sum of remaining ordinates. Okay, so this way we are using the 3/8 rule. This way we are going to use the 3/8 rule. Okay, for n equal to 7, Asif, yes, you should tell me which method you will use if n is a 7. Yes, Asif, or anyone? Yes, anyone? Which method?
Trapezoidal.
Trapezoidal is the best method for n equal to 7 because it is neither even or nor multiple of 3. Yes, Sanchit, is there any doubt? Okay, no doubt. So that about the theory part of I will say trapezoidal rule and 1/3 rule. I'm going to show you just the Simpsons. I think let I check. I think Simpsons 1/3 rule GeoGebra activity is again there, but for 3/8 rule I'm not able to get that activity. So just share you this link also, so that you can check it later on. Already I told, if you log into the GeoGebra and do these activities will be saved with you every time. So you can use at any time to see that, or you will have these links on the PPT also, so that you can click anytime on that link. And so I'm given that link also, the link of the second activity. This activity is mainly, okay, again Raunak Raj is there, Hanit Singh is there. Let I check Hanit Singh here. Okay, Simpsons rule. Okay, this is the Simpsons rule. So let me do one question here of Simpsons rule from this PDF only. Okay, in this PDF, the question number 1. Okay, but fx is not there, so we want fx for such a question. So let I take one question where fx is, yes, we are given, but it is in radian, so you have to put that values. Okay, we'll do this part. Question number 3. Can you see the example 3? Use a Simpson. Remember, these examples we are going to do it in the next class. Okay, so don't think like I'm skipping all this part. We'll do that questions in the next session only. So this question, if you have to do it, so what we should put inside this function part is sin x upon x. Okay, so I will erase all this part. Only sin x will be there first, then divided by, okay, not erasing, sin of x slash x, enter. So I've taken sin x upon x graph. This is the graph of sin x upon x. Okay, next we want, what is the interval we are given? Yes, anyone?
So
The
0 to pi
interval
by 2.
that we are given is 0 to pi by 2. 0 to pi by 2. So obviously x0 is a 0 and xn is a pi by 2. What is the value of pi by 2? Yes, anyone? What is the value of pi by 2 here? No, pi by 2 is not 1. I am asking, we have to replace x equal to 0 to x equal to pi by 2. You have to do the limits here, na? So what is the pi by 2 value you should put here? You cannot put as a 90° there. It is in radian. Okay, whenever you do this calculation of trigonometry, should put in radian. What is a pi by 2 value in radian? Yes, anyone?
So 1.570.
1 point?
570.
Very good. Correct. So these are the two values we require here. And how many intervals were given?
4.
4. N equal to 4. So n is equal to 4 or h equal to 4. That is again that also matters there. We have to check.
So n is 4.
So h is a pi by 6. Okay, pi by 6 means n is 4.
अरे
Correct.
सर दूसरा क्वेश्चन कर रहे हैं आप.
Okay, sorry. This
Example
one.
3.
Yes, in 4 parts. So n is of, no, 4 parts. By dividing interval into 4 parts, if you divide into 4 parts, then yes, it is up to that one. Correct. So n is 4. N is 4. Correct. And now here this is y0. You have to calculate y0. That is a sine 0 upon 0. Yes, anyone? What is the value of sine 0 upon 0? Sin x upon x when x is a 0. It is 1. Actually, it become indeterminate form first, 0 by 0. But if you apply L hospital rule, or if you apply the limit formulas, limit sin x upon x as x tends to 0 is 1. So f of 0 is 1 here. This is a y0. And lastly here sine pi by 2 upon pi by 2, this value is coming here, and the answer I taken 1.3708. Let me check what this shows. The answer is it written anywhere? Actual value, okay, there is some GeoGebra, okay, or you can put these values and you can do this calculation, because actual value of integral or approximate value of integral, that's not written anywhere, I think. Only these values calculated 0.63, you'll observe. Okay, whatever. So just mainly I want to show you this. Okay, I think this activity will not be that useful for you then, because it is not giving you the answer. Nowhere the answer is written, or is there some mistake we made? And division is 4, 0 to 1.57. Number of intervals is even. Note, you can see here already we given n as a 4. Okay, forget it, because this activity is just for your understanding purpose. Important, we have to do the actual actual calculation. So these actual calculations, yes, we will do these questions definitely one